George MacKay, I'm absolutely delighted to see you today because you're a great man, you're absolutely flying, and I know you got a good night's sleep. As a young father, that's a big thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've sort of like banked those hours, you know, solid till 7:30. I was laughing.
You got family in Scotland then?
I do, yeah. My missus is from Scotland, so I've got family up here now.
I think everybody thinks you're Scottish because of Sunshine On Leith. Right? I think there's just an assumption because you convincingly pulled off the accent. You know?
Oh well, thank you very much. I'll take that. I mean, there's Scots in me somewhere. My dad's an Aussie, but MacKay, I think, you know, there's got to be somewhere. So.
We're claiming you, George.
I'll be claimed. Thank you.
It's good to catch up with you as well because you might not remember, but you are responsible for one of the most painful moments of my career. Right?
Go on.
Grew up within the shadow of the Port of Leith pub.
Yeah.
You painted it, which was painful.
Yeah.
And then Dexter Fletcher, the director, got me in the film to play the doorman on the Port of Leith pub. I told everybody I was in Sunshine on Leith. Went to the premiere, and I knew within 5 seconds I'd been cut because the first scene's you two running out of the pub.
Yeah.
And then you run past the Proclaimers.
Oh my God.
So George, thanks for reminding me of the corridors of my rejection.
I can only apologise, and it could have been far better with you in it.
I think that's what we're going to do.
I think we're missing that scene. I think there must be a juicy behind the scenes DVD sort of, you know, they do the cutting room floor sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, well the sequel maybe.
It's something to be proud of, Sunshine on Leith, isn't it?
Yeah,
such a big moment.
Totally. Like it was such a, that summer, where I did a film called How I Live Now, I did Sunshine on Leith, and I did a film called For Those in Peril. And it was the first time ever I've kind of gone back to back. And all three were such different experiences working in terms of the approach because of the types of films that they were, the people involved with all of them. It was such a, it was such a sort of special summer, that one. So I always feel very, very grateful for it.
Yeah, another special moment for us when you came into our orbit was with Viggo Mortensen, who you were in Captain Fantastic with, and he was just full of praise for you. So how does it feel for you as an actor when somebody with a career like his pays tribute to what you do when you're on screen?
I mean, it means the world. Yeah. Like I love Viggo. Like I really, you know, I now luckily I would consider him a friend, but as an actor, as a director now as well, just as a craftsman, like he's so special, he's so unique, so talented, and I learnt so much from him. That yeah, I feel very privileged to have been in his orbit and to call him a mate and to have worked with him.
George, you're here today to talk about The Beast. For anybody who wants to see the film, can you just give us a quick rundown of what it's about? It's
called The Beast because it's roughly based on or inspired by a Henry James novel called The Beast in the Jungle. And the beast in that book, as is it in the film, is sort of a metaphor for this existential fear. You know, this fear that can destroy things and can get in the way of love in this case. And so you're it's the story of these soulmates who the thing that they bond over is also potentially the thing that keeps them apart.
Congratulations on playing a Frenchman so convincingly as well.
Thank you.
Your accent's outstanding. I was going to try and say that in French and then totally bottled it.
No. Someone who does speak fluent French said to me, "Oh, well done on the French," and said something in French, and I had that thing of like, I don't have the guts to respond because I think I could undo all the work from the vet. A huge sort of challenge and but also a draw towards the part of knowing that I would have to speak so much French, and the challenge of trying to. I wanted to be able to act in the language as well, and I did French at school, but I by no means speak it really, not fluently, and so kind of the work to be done to understand what I was saying truly, and also to understand what Léa and the other characters were saying as well. I wanted to be able to be sort of nimble and act in the way that I would, you know, if I'm speaking English, and that just took like weeks and weeks of prep. For a brief time, my French got quite a bit better, but it's sort of like all things with work is then you practice, and as soon as it's done, you kind of let it go. So, yeah, it's épouvantable.
I was going to say, give us a line. Give us a line.
No. That's my big word for terrible. So my French is épouvantable.
Très bien. That's all you're getting from me. Flirting with Léa Seydoux in French. So in a second, you're acting, you're flirting. It's in another language. That's quite an overwhelming experience for most mere mortals.
Yeah. I remember like Léa saying to me, she's sort of in a sort of beautiful way, "It's fun to play in French, no?" And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
But what was it, that said, like joking aside, what was interesting is the flip of it, is because it's broadly a French language film, because I think of the French as being so romantic, that actually when it's sort of at its most flirtatious and the frissons really kind of kicking off at that early stage of the film, it's ironically so much of that is in English. So, you know,